welcome to the show. Big up to everybody joining us right now. Salute to you. Uh, yeah, it's been a mad fight week. Um, as you could see that I put on screen before. Big shout out to the boy Brian Ortega on his birthday. Yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. Wish him, you know what I mean? Wish him a happy birthday, man. Yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. And big up to everybody that joined me over the weekend for that Can versus Brook fight. I'm going to touch on that in a minute. Just wanted to say, so I was meant to come on this. I was meant to come live. I was meant to go live um about 9:15, but I got off work early enough. You know what I mean? I made it early enough to be able to get off and get down here to put the show on. So apologies to the people that might have been waiting till 9:15. But you know what? I beat you guys to it today, man. And shout out to you for watching on playback as well, man. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Any which way you watch it is good enough for me. Whether you're live here with us, whether you're watching on playback, I always appreciate the support. It means a lot, means the world to me. So yeah, it's I appreciate it more than ever. So we've had a weekend of fights with Jamal Hill versus Johnny Walker. That was a mad fight, especially that main event. But before that, we done a watch along on the channel with Brook versus Amir Khan, and I only did the co-main and the main event, and both turned out to be really really good. The support was massive on it. People that joined us and the interaction was really really good on it, and really really appreciate uh, you guys' support. So Amir Khan, Brook, for me, I went for Brook. I picked Brook to win the fight, and Amir Khan looked comfortable. He looked confident going into the fight. When you look at some of the post, some of the pre-fight sort of conversations and conferences, you know, I mean, the gloves are off. When you watch all that stuff and interviews leading up to it, you could see that Amir Khan was just that little bit more confident about what about what was going on, about what he was, about how the fight might pound out. Um, and Jamal Hill, you know, Brook, Brook. Yeah, he's the bigger guy. He's the bigger guy. They had to drag him into that weight class, and to cut himself all the way down to 147 was crazy. To cut himself all the way down to 147 was mad. I did not think, to get down there. I think he made 149 after rehydration, going into the ring. Um, so he had a significant weight cut just to get down there to be able to fight Khan. And I always say, no matter what kind of fight it is, um, fighters having a rough weight cut will always have some kind of effect on the outcome of the fight. It's just only very, very few, and they have to be so experienced, so long in the tooth and the game for the few to be able to get away with it. But majority of fighters, if you have a rough weight cut, it's going to show in your performance in the fight. You're not going to fight the way that you like to fight. But Brook looks absolutely um it looks absolutely comfortable in there. And when the fight begun, started, he just walked Amir Khan down the entire round, the entire first round, scored a couple knockdowns just to show him, look, I'm here. I'm not here to fuck around. Um, I'm here to win this fight. And let's face it, I said this on the watch along. Both fighters, both of these guys, I mean, if one of them loses, depending on how they lose, should be retiring. Really and truly, both of them should be retiring. We know that about both of these two guys. We know that about both of these two guys, So for me, Kell Brook stalked him first round, didn't stop there, picked up where he left off in second round. It was tagging him. Some of the right hooks and the stiff jabs were touching Amir Khan. The volume was there. Amir Khan tried to come back, maybe in the third, try and rally something, but Kell Brook just resumed back in the center of the ring and went back to work. Just combo body shots, you know what I mean? Straight hooks, left, right. It was putting them together nicely. His hands were flowing. And look, Amir Khan got hands as well. He's got fast hands, but nothing like what Kell Brook was, you know what I mean, was giving him to eat, and he was serving him up. And I think it was in the fourth round again. It got dropped, but not dropped all the way, almost rocked back a little bit, you know what I mean? But like I don't know if you count that as a knockdown, but he definitely got rocked. Um and in the sixth round, Kell Brook was able to do enough to get a TKO and make the ref stop the fight. And that's this is what is, this is how this fight was always going to end. I did say Amir Khan was going to get knocked out. He didn't get the knockout, but he got TKO'd. The ref had to stop the fight. He'd seen enough. He didn't think that Amir Khan was responsible. I mean, was responding with some of the shots that he was getting. There was a lot of unanswered combos that a lot of combos that went in there that got unanswered. So it's just one of those where you can't, the ref can't do nothing. Can't put the ref in a situation where he has to stop the fight. What's next? What's next for Khan? For me, I said it before the fight. I'm gonna stick to it. I think Khan should retire. I also think Kell Brook should retire. I think both of these guys, you know what I mean, just be done with it now. And both of them should just be done with it, and let these young guys come in and do their thing. I see Eubank Jr. calling him out. He wants a slice of Kell Brooks. Apparently both of them don't like each other. Both of them got beef, and they've had beef for quite a while. So he wants that fight. Whether Kell Brook is going to be smart enough and swerve it, or might be feeling himself too much after this fight to take it. Only time will tell. But I personally think he should ride into the sunset. I mean, Khan should take the money and be gone. And they'll get job in the boxing game and doing analyst work, all that type of stuff. They'll get work in it, in the boxing world. So for me, I wouldn't say that would be the end of their boxing career, but I would say they should make it the end of their in-ring career, and get out there, maybe even get into coaching, maybe train some people, maybe you know um break down fights and stuff. But I'm sure there's going to be something for those guys. But salute to both of them for putting this fight together. It was a good fight to watch. I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic fight to watch. Now let's get on to UFC was on this weekend in Vegas. Jamal Hill versus Johnny Walker. We're going to take it off the top. Johnny Walker was crazy in that fight. I mean, the walking, some of the gyrating that this guy does. I mean, he got this hip decent hip movement, shall I say? When they got to the checkpoint, and the ref, the cutman and those guys that look after them and put all the Vaseline on them, make sure their gloves are in and everything sorted out, they got their cups on, all that type of stuff. This man was gyrating over there, but I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm like, God damn, you know what? If your moves out there is as good as the moves in the octagon, we might, the fight might have lasted longer than a round. But Jamal Hill, he didn't care about none of that. He came in there swinging. Oh shit! I gotta go back to the swinging and banging. that we got from Bam Bam Tuivasa and Derek Lewis. That phrase there, I love that phrase. You're gonna hear it from me quite a bit more. Swang and bang, and you know, Jamal Hill connected, and bam. That's all. That's all she wrote. Put out Johnny Walker right into the fence, backed up into the fence, and the Jamal Hill just went down there and put a finishing touch to it, just to make sure that this guy does not get up. And yeah, fantastic finish from Jamal Hill. Um, he's come It's come a long way since that Paul Craig fight when Paul Craig pulled him into his guard, you know what I mean, and locked him off with that armbar. So it's been a while. It's come a long way since then because I didn't know how he was going to recover from that because it looked like that guy Paul Craig pulled that arm out of the socket, and he won me a lot of money that night as well. Paul Craig. I did predict him sub in the first round against Jamal Hill, and that's exactly what he did. Just put him into his guard. Anyways, onto the co-main, Cow versus Jamie Pickett. Uh, another finish in the first round by Kyle Dakau. Obviously, his brother Chris had a fight with Derek Lewis. He came up short, but Kyle Dakau had to bring one home for the you know for the name of the Dakau's, and it came correct. He did well, got that submission over Jamie Pickett, and he's a rising star in that division right now. That name, that cow, is ringing bells in the division, and if he carries on like this, it won't be long before he start hitting them top rankings, and start making bigger challenges for himself. But very impressed with Carl Dakau. And the next one on the card was Pakapota versus Alambadu. This fight was crazy. Not what I expected, especially from Alambadu. I think Alambadu started turning it on in the third round, but Parker was way gone by then. You know what I mean? Parker was way gone. Um, and this fight ended in decision. I thought it was going to finish. I thought it was going to be done in the first round, being as though um, they're heavyweights. You know what I mean? It's the type of shit that you know, that you get in the heavyweight. They went swinging and banging like Bam Bam and Derek Lewis. There was a little bit of hesitancy from especially Alan Badu. Parker threw his hand in the fire, tried to get a lot of offense going, and in the end, for me, deserved the win over the course of 3 rounds. Up next is Jim Miller versus Nicola Motta. I thought Jim Miller it looked like every time they throw in one of these up and coming guys, Jim Miller just comes in there, takes care of business, and send those guys with their tails tucked behind the legs. And I have the same feeling that I have for Jim Miller as I do for Andrei Arlovski. A lot of people, all of you that's been watching me from the combat show times all the way onto here would know that I absolutely love Andrei Arlovski. I love the way he fights, even till now. The way he moves around in the octagon. He knows where he's supposed to be, and he knows how to handle all these younger up and coming guys. You have to do something real special to be able to get someone like Andrei Arlovski out. And it's the same thing with Jim Miller. You got to come with your A game. If you ain't come correct, you ain't getting past Jim Miller. I don't care how good you are as a prospect. If you don't come correct, you're not getting past Jim Miller. He will finish you. He will either sub you or knock you the fuck out, which is exactly what he did here against Nicolas Motta. So big up to Jim Miller on that one in the 155 division. And then we move on to Joaquin Buckley versus Abdulrazak Alhassan. Joaquin Buckley versus Abdulrazak Alhassan. This happened in the 185 division. Again, another decision. I thought this fight was going to earn early. I thought I did pick I picked Joaquin to to win by knockout, but it didn't happen. Them two went all the way. They went all the way down to the fifth round. I mean the third round, and Buckley got the decision on that one. So we'll see what's. I thought it was a good fight. I thought it was a good fight, but based on what both of these guys usually serve up in terms of knockout and finishes, if that's what you was expecting in this fight, then you would definitely be disappointed. But in the sense of the fight itself, I thought it was a good fight between both of those. Another fighter that got his name, he got his name out there. He put himself out there, and that's David Onama. David Onama with the round one KO of Gabriel Benitez. Um, Gabriel Benitez, I mean, he didn't stand a chance with Onama. So Onama went in there, did his thing, got him out of there. Another quick finish by Stephanie Egger. Stephanie Egger is the next one on the card. And another submission finish from Stephanie Egger. And look, this is what she's put 2 fight win streak together. So if she keeps adding them up against a tough opponent like just Rose Clark, um, she keep racking them up like that. Again, she'll be right up there real soon. So big up to Stephanie Egger on that one. We got Charles Kelly, another one with a finish. There were so many finishes in this card, and that's why this card is so good. People sleep on fight nights. And for me, I've said it time and time again. If you want to see finishes, if you want to see knockouts, like in raw form, where people are trying to get onto the pay-per-view, they're willing to do anything. Fight night is where you're gonna see them. Fight night is where to be, you know what I mean? Another finish, second round KO by Charles Kelly against Mark Striegel. So there was a lot of fights, a lot of notable fights, even in the prelim. With finishes on there. We just spoke about David Onama, Charles Kelly, and Stephanie Egger. That's 3 fights on the prelims, with finishes. And these guys are going to carry on doing it. They're going to keep on being impressive. And I love what I'm seeing from these guys. On to next week. We all know the card that's coming up next week. So me and William are going to be back on Friday. We couldn't do this Friday. Apologies to everyone. It was my son's birthday. You probably seen it on the watch along with the 18th-year-old banner. It was my son's birthday on Friday. He was having a party here, so I couldn't do nothing, man. You know what I mean? They took over my gaff, man. But yeah, I got my gaff back, and then we're back. We're back in motion. And on Friday, me and William are going to be back here, normal time, 9 o'clock, and we're going to preview this card. We're going to preview this card right here. That's Islam Makhachev against Bobby Green, and that's a very, very interesting card. Let's see and this is the fight that's coming up after that. After Makachev versus Green, we got Covington Masvidal, and then we got Santos versus Ankalaev on 12th of March, and then on the 19th of March, it's UFC London, baby. Yeah, and that's Aspinall versus Volkov. I'm looking forward to that fight. Looking forward to that card. So that's one that definitely is getting my juices going. And on the bonuses, before we get out of here, let's do the bonuses real quick. Um, let's have a look. Yeah, David Onama, 50 grand. Congratulations to him on performance of the night. They didn't really give a fight of the night award because there was 4 fighters with a performance of the night award, and David Onama is one of them. The second fighter is Kyle Darkow, another 50 grand for Kyle Darkow for his first round submission against Jamie Pickett. Congratulations to him on his 50 grand win. Where is the other two? Yes, we got Stephanie Egger here, performance of the night. Another 50 grand to Stephanie Egger on a submission against Jess Rose Clark. And the last one goes to Jamal Hill for his knockout on Johnny Walker, 50 grand. That's 200,000 in bonuses for this fighter for going out there and putting on a spectacular show for the fans. And who says, big things don't happen on fight nights, on cards that you might think, I don't like that card. You know what I mean? Those are the cards that you really want to see. And yeah, this one was no exception. Was no exception at all. Thank you for everybody that's joined me live, all of you that's watching on playback. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. You guys have been fucking fantastic, man. And thank you for joining me tonight. I've just finished work, come straight in before I do this. You know what I mean? Bam. You know what I mean? Get the content out for you lot. And if anything pops up right through the week, it's fight week. So anything pops up right through the week, any MMA news, we're going to be back here maybe tomorrow, Wednesday, whenever there's news, we're going to be back and we're going to be dropping the news right here on the channel. So thank you to all of you. And until our next video, hasta la vista. Salute.